This bitch. That's cat piss for sure.
How's it?
Stretch. Today, we break the law. We're going to the shop against quarantine guidelines. Mostly because we have to pay rent. Since we gotta be at the shop anyway, may as well use the facilities. And we're gonna hopefully install some audio stuff in my Lexus today. You ready?
I brought alcohol wipes and gloves. So that way, when we touch the ATM, like we can like wipe it before and after. And also the like card reader at the store.
True. We tried to film a video yesterday where we cambered in the front of the Lexus. A lot of people are saying you can get like -3 degrees out of the stock arms on these. And I've seen some pictures of stock arms maxed out and I need that. But we just didn't have the tools. We'll get to that another time when we can go to the shop again. We're getting money. Be safe out here. Let's count.
You want me to count it?
You got gloves on?
You know I'm good at money counting.
That's true. We've tried to film a video where we do the audio on this car like probably 3 times and nobody gives a fuck about it. Nobody's like here to actually, I guess I'll pop the trunk. It smells like piss. At the very least today, we're installing these fuckers. These are Rockford Fosgate R1s. They're super basic, cheapo speakers, but they're better than what I've got. Currently my shit just like, the high ends are just crackled. It's all just like muddy and shitty everywhere. So I'm definitely gonna start with doing the speakers. They're just 4-door speakers. They're 5 1/4. These are the same speakers I had in my IS300 a long time ago. Basically, my point is this will be better than what's in there from factory. 20-year-old clapped out speakers, even though they're not the greatest thing in the world. Hopefully, we will have the time and motivation to install this bitch. So, that's cat piss for sure. This is also Rockford Fosgate. It's just a cheap old subwoofer that I got for free from Dirty Boys PNW, I think. He gave me this subwoofer and then a 10-inch subwoofer over here, but he told me that one doesn't work, so I don't know why he even gave it to me. But and then this fucking behemoth. This is a 300-watt amp, which if you know anything about car audio, you know that that is ridiculous for something that huge to only be 300 amps. Because like these days they have 500-watt amps that are like this big. You can just put in your pocket. I'm going to be running it line out converter. So what this does is it takes, I don't know, it takes a signal from a speaker and then converts it to your amplifier and go. This is basically like a cheapo way of installing a subwoofer without putting in a head unit that is compatible with subwoofers. Damn, 5 1/4 are small. I've only ever used like 6 1/2. These are little bitty babies. Little teensy wieners. All right, well, this is what one of them looks like, I guess. I started popping the door panel off. I got business card, Evergreen Money Source, Seattle branch. And then from Uncle Corey and Aunt Lynn to Ellie.
Cute.
Oops. Well.
Now the real work begins.
At least I didn't break too much.
That's kind of what I was looking at. It seemed like it was stuck on there, but I couldn't really tell.
The body clip should have snapped before that.
Yeah, that's so weird.
These Lexuses with the premium sound, premium audio or whatever, have a lot of weird shit going on. So like, in order to install an aftermarket head unit, you have to like use this converter to bypass the factory amp. And then like all the speakers have like 4 wires in them instead of 2, probably because of the amp. And so speakers I bought, they just have 2 posts. Kind of had to like do some weird shit. So like that's how it's hooked up right now. We just tested it and it sounds good. So I'm gonna try to make these a little less janky. Hopefully install it in the door. This has got 4 holes to mount it and the door has 3. So to figure something out there,
no.
But we'll be fine. I am the hole starter. We out here tapping ourselves, if you know what I'm saying.
Do we have any
Self-tapping screws?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't feel like getting a drill.
Sometimes you just gotta.
My God. Right on. Then I'm probably gonna pull it back out to make sure my wires are still good. Because there's 2 of the posts that you have to jam spade connectors onto have solder on them, so it's like really hard. You gotta like push through the solder. So I'm afraid one of them might have popped off in all that process.
Oh, can't we test that just by turning the...
No, because it works with, so there's 2 sets of wires. There's the gray sets of wires and the green sets of wires. I think the gray sets of wires are just like normal ass signals from the radio.
Yeah.
And then the green come from the amp or something like that, because when we had the green hooked up backwards and it made...
And it's still working. Oh, okay, I
like
see.
it just didn't sound that good, and then we
flopped them.
we flipped the green wires and it just like became way fuller. Yeah, this is kind of not great. Really, I should be like soldering these or something, but I think Caleb has my soldering kit. Doesn't work. The posts that the green wires need to go on are covered in solder. Spades don't slip over the posts. My soldering kit is not here. We took a pick, like a metal pick, and heated it up with a map torch and stabbed it on there, and it didn't do anything. So that was my best idea. I also tried using a lighter, but it's not hot enough. I'm just gonna throw all the stock shit back together, and I guess we're just gonna like go to the store and shit. We'll film danger, high risk grocery shopping.
We brought our alcohol wipes though.
That's true.
And I remembered my bagu.
I would just makes me want to die. I've been wanting to do this for, how long have I had this shit? Probably
like
3.
Since you've had the car basically.
Yeah, probably 3 or 4 months I've had this shit sitting around. And then we finally go to do it and I just don't have my soldering iron. So. You know, the funny part about all this is that yesterday we tried to film a video too and it didn't work out. So it's because we didn't have the tools.
And then the Corolla video.
The Corolla didn't work out, so damn. Try to fix the Corolla? Nah. Try to put camber in the Lexus? Nah. Try to put a speaker in the Lexus? Nah. It just ain't happening.
Do be looking good though.
Gloves. I'm gonna wear them. I'm gonna be the crazy guy in the store wearing them. Giving them alcohol wipes. I'm gonna wipe that.
For what?
I need to wipe everything. I'm invincible. So. Check out the Chinese chicken. Can I get one of that?
If you want that.
I kinda want one of that tuner.
Ew. Get that.
Yeah, tuner. I kinda want one of that.
What? Apple wild
I
berry?
want to suck on these.
Apple cranberry. It's the best.
Unfortunately, since we don't know how to work on cars, Morse Kids is now a cooking channel. Alright, so stewed tomatoes, bring them to a boil after you sweat your vegetables. Salt, pepper, oregano, basil.
Use your nearest gin bottle to roll out your dough because you don't have it.
Rolling pin. And then you want to add a pinch of sugar to the sauce. I'm just gonna let it simmer for like half an hour. We're literally making pizza because we have like a million leftover puff pastries, and
Pizza's really good on puff pastry.
it's like buttery and flaky, and it's not traditional at all, but it tastes good. Sauce is done.
Oh, that smells good.
Hell yeah. Red onion, bell pepper, jalapenos, cheese. Little cheese balls look good. How it taste?
It's pretty good. It looks good.
Herman wanted to bite. You like bite?
How's it?
Alright, pizza was good. I'm getting back my soldering kit tomorrow, so hopefully sometime in the next few days actually be able to do anything at all with the car. In our last video ever, we asked for a bunch of questions for like a Q&A thing, so we're just gonna roll out the rest of this video with B-roll from a hike that Kat and I went on, and answers to some of your questions from a few days ago. So thanks for watching. Shout out to the Patreon. Hope you enjoy the rest of this. Also shout out everybody else too.
Nitrosity asks, how's the Civic going? It's not really
going. It's just sitting there waiting for some work to get done to it. And then unfortunately, probably I'm going to sell it. Spying Bigfoot asked, what happened to the scooter? Also, somebody else asked a similar question. Basically, last time it was in Canada, it just wasn't running right, and so we left it up there for the homies in Canada to kind of tinker with it. And so we just haven't been back to Canada, and I don't think it was ever fixed either, so just kind of chilling up there. Josh asks, what boards do you have hung up and why? Referring to the skateboard decks hung up in the living room at our house. They all belong to our roommate Parker, and he just collects a lot of pro skaters' first pro models. That's just the full story, really. Blue Icy 99 asks, when's the new merch coming out? I want to support the channel. Pretty soon, hopefully, but it kind of depends on a few things that are sort of out of our control, but hopefully very soon. Probably have more information on that coming up soon. Jake Woods asks, would you ever visit the UK? Yes, I would.
Yeah, the UK is super pretty. I think it's really interesting. I absolutely would visit the UK.
Sean Anthony says, when are you guys gonna tie the knot?
I don't know, DJ, when are we gonna tie the knot?
As soon as we don't live with 4 other dudes. And
as soon as we're financially stable young adults.
Yeah, exactly, which might never happen.
Yeah.
But. Sentinel asks, what all is in the current skid fleet? I haven't seen much from the Scoot or that coupe Quentin bought from Charles. Yeah, so right now Quentin has the totaled Skyline sitting at his parents' house. He has his truck, the F350 8.6 project that we're in the middle of. Then I've got an LS 400, the 240, and the Civic. And then Kat has her Corolla. The scooter is currently up in Canada, as I said previously. And then the coupe that Quentin bought, he sold a long time ago. So that's why you haven't seen that. You must have missed that video. I3 Olioso, L3OSO. I3OSO says, what's the overall plans with the Corolla?
Right now with the Corolla, the main goal is to get the interior looking like the way I want it, just getting it really nice and clean and like full and comfy. And then after that I'll go ahead and paint it, and then after that will probably be like the wheel search, finding wheels that I think are suiting. Hopefully after that it'll have something to do with like putting a new engine in it or building like another 3TC or something to plop in it. It's mostly just to like refurbish the whole thing, like make it look almost kind of brand new but in a personalized way, and just making it like super comfortable and nice.
Johnny Chavez says, DJ, what car do you regret selling? And Kat, what's the next build after the wagon? In terms of like cars I regret selling, probably the 8.6 and the IS 300, but both of them like made sense to sell, so it's like it's not like I would really change what I did if I could go back, but I miss them. They're both cars that I missed. And what's the next build after the wagon, Kat?
I don't really think too much about it, honestly, just because I like to keep my focus on the wagon because I do really love it. I would like to have like an R32 Skyline or an E30 sometime. I think either one of those cars would be really cool to build and have someday.
Meteorora. Adam Martin says, what happened to the Civic? It's still around. I just don't really do anything to it because I'm kind of over that car. Like I bought it as a car to deliver pizza in, and then here we are. Like I'm just over that car. Like it's no fun to work on anymore. I mean, it is fun to drive. I'm just kind of like sick of it. How long have you and Kat been together?
This October it'll be 3 years.
Twinkie Dinky 4 asked that.
So like 2.5 years, almost 2.5.
Hassan asks, what did you guys go to school for and did you finish? I went to school for marketing, and I have a bachelor's of applied science in marketing and entrepreneurship.
I went to school for portrait drawing. I did not finish. I barely even started, really.
Hell yeah. All right, well, that was like pretty much all the questions, actually. Like we had a lot of comments, but not a ton of questions. I hope you enjoyed the little video that this was, and just know that in the next one, real progress and cars will be made. Thanks for sticking around, and I hope you're surviving this weird time that we live in right now. See ya.